many people when they walk past a mirror, they see something that they have to change,
Yeah.
right? Like
Or
it's
avoid looking altogether.
avoid looking. So it's like I can find, not me personally, everyone, but I can find something wrong in everybody else, but can I equally find it as easily within myself? And if I'm able to have that conversation with myself, how truthful am I going to be? Because I was at a point in my life where I had to be very, very honest. And the conversations that I was having at times made me feel very sad, but they were necessarily because I had to grow as a person. And for you, Jenny, like you went through that, you're helping the women go through that. What is something that you think is perhaps blocking some women from achieving it? Not maybe as fast as they want to, but just achieving it in general.
Well, okay. So I think blocking, okay, so there's blocking from achieving seeing what's possible or seeing their own beauty.
I would say seeing their own beauty, because I think that's a very important first step.
Hmm.
Right? Because there's some people, like I'll give you an example. There's some women that I work with. There's two. They have a hard time of seeing the beauty within themselves. And I communicate with them, even though our sessions are weekly, I communicate with them a few times during in text message, and they have a difficult time, right? So one thing that I do is I say, okay, write down 5 things you don't like about yourself. And when they write it down, because it's so easy, they're like, Train, I'm finished in 2 minutes. I'm like, okay, you're
Yeah.
gonna take some time. It's like they had what
Yeah.
they didn't like about themselves already in their mind. So I said,
Yeah.
okay, then the opposite would have to be true of what you would like. So let's get you those 5 things, which is the opposite of what you don't like. So that's an example that I would like to share.
Yeah. It it's amazing. We are just so conditioned to find flaws. And it's like how easily can you accept a compliment? Even it's the simple oh, I love that dress. This old thing, eh, you know, can someone even just say, "Oh, I know, isn't it great? Like I love this yeah, this is my favorite dress." We as women can't even say, "Thank you." Yeah, I know I love my dress too. This is my favorite dress. No, we always have to have a disclaimer of this old thing or oh, I know I got it on sale. Like, oh, like there's always something we can't just say thank you or like your hair looks so good. Are you sure? Like I was thinking I was having a bad hair day or like, are you sure it's kind of frizzy? I don't it has to just be that conditioning of be demure, be modest that goes back generations that we were told. It's like I don't know if you know that song. It's country, but Miranda Lambert has that song. Oh, what's it called? Something about people can look it up, but it's mom something about like my mama told me um I wish I could Google it right now, but there's something about um people can look it up, but there's a Miranda Lambert song where she says something of all the rules that her mama told her, not to basically be polite. And it lists off all the rules like, don't be loud, don't um wear too much makeup, don't make sure you cross your legs, make sure you don't over, shadow the man, don't do all these things. And those get passed down. There are just these rules that get passed down. And when you hear that enough times, it's just it's habit. It's just habit. And I feel like it's rewiring. It's those neural pathways that it can be done. Obviously, it can be done where we know we can change habits and rewire. And this is what I want women to know. We can change that old myth of, an old dog, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. It just, we need to do the work. So you can look in the mirror and believe, truly believe that you are beautiful. You just have to do the work. And that's where that somatic work comes in, doing the meditations, doing the breath work. So, no, looking in the mirror one day and saying, Jenny, you're beautiful. No, that's going to be laughable if you've never believed that. If you've spent 40 years telling yourself you're a fat pig and you're unworthy of love, and that's what if you've never had a relationship or you've had broken relationships and you've been lonely for so long, and all the things that you've done shows about, dating is terrible, and you've had trauma and just history of devastation. So now you're going to start telling yourself what comes across as lies. No, it's not going to work. So you need to do it in a deeper state of consciousness. So when you do it in more of a meditative state, now you're like, I'm sure a hypnotist would agree with me. There's other, it's not like it just has to be done in breath work, but there are other, you can tap on it. There are other modalities you can use. But when you get into other healing modalities where you're in that deeper state of consciousness, that's where you can do this kind of work to rewire and start finding the self-love and be kinder to yourself. But no, you can't just look in the mirror and say the opposite of what you've been saying to yourself.